morning. And for those of you who are joining us in the broadcast, maybe even good afternoon or good evening. Over the course of today and tomorrow, and with the help of some of my colleagues, I look forward to introducing you all to some of the latest features and capabilities of the Appian platform. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing some of the things that we're doing. A few minutes ago, our CEO, Matt, introduced the Low Code for All platform program. This is aimed at increasing the supply of low-code application builders to meet the global demand for rapid transformation and innovation within the enterprise. And I want to explain what I see happening in the world of enterprise software, which explains why it's so important now more than ever to bring this new talent to bear on the challenges and opportunities facing our customers. We're in an age where siloed applications are dead. We're no longer building these kind of individual applications, but instead we're seeing the strong need to connect different solutions together and building more compositions than we are building applications from the ground up. I'm sure you've heard the term before, microservices. It sounds like a technical word, but what it really means is that if you look at an enterprise, what you actually see is a set of individual capabilities, often isolated from each other, maybe monitored and even managed separately, but that each provide a little piece of value to the business. Could be a collage of services like business rules, chatbot, payment processing, and other data services that we often find aren't just built by you and aren't built for what we traditionally consider to be one application. They could be services offered by some of our partners like Amazon Web Services, Google, Microsoft, or other third-party providers. It could be homegrown services or even COTS products unto themselves. When we think about application building, it's not anymore about somebody gathering requirements from the front office and sitting in the back office and building up the application. It's really now about connecting these different services together into something new and meaningful to the business. It's about how do I unite these services, sometimes in ways that even the service builders themselves never expected. What you start to discover when you use this model is the adaptability inherent in it. You can more easily swap out the microservices to continuously enhance or change the application. You can accommodate new conditions from the business or new requirements. And as we build these things, the composition of the microservices is the new modern business application. And that's how we think about bringing our platform forward. Our job at Appian is to make it easy for you to do this, to have simple, visual, declarative tools to let you compose these applications into existence. And that's great when you already know what you want to build, when you know what services are being brought to bear, how well they're working together, or what optimizations you want to make. But what happens when you don't know? What happens when you know that you have a problem or maybe even an opportunity to improve an important workflow, but you don't know where in the flow, which links between which services you should look more closely at? That's the essence and the value of process mining. And I'd like to invite Karina up here now to introduce you to Appian Process Mining and what it can do for you.
Thank you, Adam. Before we dive into process mining, I would like to take you back a couple of 100 years ago to the age of commercial shipping. Talking about connected possibilities, back then sailing was what connected continents and enabled the trade of goods, but also was a very tough job, as routes were long and it wasn't always easy to predict the actual duration of a passage. Navigation was a matter of experience and gut feeling. That might sound a bit familiar to the way many decisions are still being made today, right? Back then, at least, that was the case until one day, Matthew Maury, who has been a sailor himself, became the director of the US Naval Observatory and with that got access to an extensive archive of logbooks. In the following years, Maury studied thousands of ships' logs and charts and basically performed a very early data analysis that would then revolutionize the shipping industry, when he published the first map of the currents of the North Atlantic in 1847, all based on log data on the actual routes that ships had been taking. This had a major impact on the duration of a passage, which could now be sailed much more efficiently. And being faster on these routes not only had tremendous economic impacts, but also it led to a decrease in general shipping costs because each day that the ships and the goods were on sea was tied to additional cost. But also the ship that was able to land the first cargo of new tea crop from, let's say, China in England was able to realize a price premium for these goods. Major benefits can be generated when using data to derive meaningful insights. And this is exactly what process mining is about. Visualizing and analyzing the digital footprints stored in your IT system to get full transparency into your processes. It reduces the high effort of manual analysis that is used today for process improvement and highlights causes for inefficiencies in complex processes that otherwise cannot be proven on a factual basis. And it doesn't make such a big difference whether you're navigating the Atlantic Ocean or steering your company through the next business challenge. Backing up your decisions with data is key to success. And that is how process mining is generating value for our customers across different industries. Manufacturing customers profit from improved overall equipment benefit effectiveness and thus cost savings and increased revenue potential, as well as working capital reduction, which is a major goal in many finance departments and especially challenging in complex operations like healthcare, where we could not only help to drastically improve this financial KPI, but Appian process mining is also used in emergency admissions and thus directly impacts the chance of survival of patients. Getting full transparency into customer journeys is making support operations more efficient and helps to reduce churn rates. In accounting and procurement processes, customers benefit from insights into cost savings or automation potential, but also from the capability to ensure compliance. Let's take a look at the kind of data needed for mining and how to get it. Process mining is based on your enterprise event logs from your current systems. We need a case ID to follow through the process, the activities, and at least one timestamp for those. What makes the analysis even more insightful is the addition of master data as attributes, such as the product category, location, or cost that is connected to a certain case. This event log format is unfortunately not coming out of your IT systems automatically, and the data needs to be prepared, usually causing the most effort of a process mining project as it requires some data transformation skills. Now, the good news is that we have developed Mining Prep that connects to your IT system and enables process owners without in-depth technical knowledge to perform data transformations by using pre-configured transformation actions. This is especially relevant for mining processes that run outside of Appian or for performing end-to-end analysis of a process that is executed in a different system and Appian together. Appian itself makes process data for mining easily available to you, as we can pull data from the Appian process history and use that with process mining. Let's take a look at how that works. Procurement is a very common use case for process mining, and today it comes with a special twist as we mine the process directly from the Appian Government Acquisition solution. Here, acquisition managers organize requisitions from initial requirement selection, vendor RFP coordination to reviewing and contracting. To get insights into our process performance, we are now mining execution data from the requirements management checklist. And I'm excited to show you how that looks like in Appian process mining. Once the data is loaded into Appian process mining, it takes only seconds to get to the first aha moment with the process discovery. Here we see a visualization of the process with all its execution variants, oftentimes also being referred to as the spaghetti model due to the complexity of the as-is process. Since we're looking at a process that has been mined from an Appian solution, the amount of variance is not overwhelming and the standardization degree of our process is already quite good. But let's take a closer look. By zooming into the process, we can already identify loops and also areas where the duration between activities takes longest, and we might have a bottleneck. On top of that, The animation allows us to replay the process exactly as it happened and see how each case is moving through the process. Now, let's take a step further and perform an automated root cause analysis and an automated conformance check before we do that of our process. For this, we simply need to identify a process variant that comes closest to our ideal, and with a click of a button, Appian Process Mining will automatically generate a process model in BPMN notation from that. By the way, this BPMN model can also be used as a starting point for automation in Appian. This target model is now matched with the as-is data, and all unwanted process deviations are highlighted automatically. We can see where rework is happening, which unwanted paths were taken, or where steps are being skipped. The variant view offers another way to visualize non-conformant variants and also allows you to drill down into the details of every single case. After the target action analysis is performed, our process conformance statistics are being calculated right away, and we're also provided with an overview of deviations that have been discovered. One deviation that sticks out here is that the review step, conduct small business review and coordination, is being skipped, which might very likely lead to compliance issues. But we can now perform an automated root cause analysis to get more insights into why this is actually happening. The machine learning algorithm now reveals that this process deviation is highly correlated with the region APAC and a cost associated higher than $1 million. And this is something that we can now investigate in more detail and eventually solve in Appian as part of Agile platform development. Now, let's check out our dashboards. Here, we can very easily configure our most important business metrics. In the case of government acquisition, we want to be informed about the procurement action lead time, which can be shown with a few clicks. Dashboards can be set up very flexibly with drag and drop and enable you to spot long-running cases and potential bottlenecks in the process. They also allow the setting of thresholds against target SLAs. Once a threshold is reached, you can configure sending out alerts, which you can then handle with emails, tasks, or RPA bots in Appian. Now, if you wanted to keep track of all your processes in one place, we have just introduced the process scorecard. A scorecard automatically assigns a process a score and status based on its performance against your custom case duration thresholds. Together, these metrics let you know at a glance if you need to take action. And thanks to the connectivity of our platform, we can now also visualize these insights into our process performance directly in the government acquisition management solution. A process report interface provides managers with all relevant information they need to continuously improve the process and monitor the impact of improvements made, really helping process owners to easily navigate even complex environments. Speaking of navigation, last year, I had the opportunity to go on a sailing trip myself on a boat equipped with the latest technology. Not exactly that one, but we take it as an example. It was amazing to see how sensors were measuring the depth of the ocean, the speed of the currents, the wind power, and directions at any second. Based on this real-time data, the ship was able to automatically set the sails to navigate you to the destination that you have set as a target on autopilot. This is automation based on the digitization of sea maps. And in the very same way, process mining is the basis on which we are going to build the future of automation using real-time monitoring to automatically adapt to a fast-changing environment. Of course, we're not quite there yet, and I have to admit that the autopilot of that sailing boat still needed quite some human assistance once the wind gets stronger. But already today, we have built a change engine to provide you with everything you need for your continuous improvement journey, so you can move from insight to action faster as you discover, design, and automate your way to success. Let me share one last thought about our core topic here these next 2 days: connected possibilities. You know that ships equipped with an automatic identification system share data with each other? This is critical information, like another ship's destiny, its speed, and when and where you will be potentially colliding if you don't change your course. Now, imagine if process data would be connected across companies and interchanged automatically. That's when true end-to-end process optimization can happen and a more systemic approach of optimization can be realized. And that is also a way to think about many ESG-related challenges we will be facing in the future, like tracking and reducing emissions along a supply chain. The possibilities we have with our Appian technologies are countless, and we are excited to be on this journey for a connected future together with all of you. Back to Adam.
Thanks, Karina. Appian Process Mining is now GA, and we can't wait to see what you discover about your own businesses. I want to switch gears for a minute and talk not about what types of applications you're going to build, but about who those applications are for, and more importantly, where the users of them and how they'll experience them. Sail is Appian's innovative patented technology for drag and drop, write once, run anywhere interface design. And now, we're excited to be able to extend the power of Sail beyond your employees, beyond your business partners, to reach your customers and even a prospective global user base. I'm extremely excited to invite Alexis up here to talk about some of these latest innovations.
Thanks, Adam. Good morning, everyone. I am very excited to be here with you all today. It is such a great privilege and honor for me to be up here to talk about the latest innovations that we have in store for you. Before I jump into the great content that I have to share, I first want to talk about the current state of user experience today. As many of you know, building enriched enterprise-grade user interfaces for your applications can be challenging. We hear that our customers want their user interfaces to be built quickly and adaptable for change. We hear they need to be multi-experience, meaning portable on all devices and browsers. And of course, we hear that you want them to be enterprise-grade, with all security, performance, and accessibility features. Here at Appian, we want every one of our customers to be able to express their unique digital user experience through our low-code platform without having to sacrifice speed, multi-experience, nor enterprise-grade. Our Appian Sail architecture has been and continues to be the solution for our customers to create rich and meaningful user experiences. Appian Sail is an integrated part of the platform, allowing you to use all of the platform's capabilities, including rules, data from Appian processes, and external data from separate sources to create intelligent and beautiful interfaces your end users will enjoy. It empowers your team to focus on quickly innovating rather than maintain existing code, all while ensuring your end user experiences are available on all devices, whether it's new browsers, phone or tablet, or future innovations we can't even imagine today. In addition, Appian Sail ensures your applications are enterprise-ready, with built-in mitigations for common security vulnerabilities, automatic performance optimization, and compliance with the latest web content guidelines, which ensures everyone can use them. Let's take a look at just how powerful Appian Sail is. Here in this example, I am in the user interface designer, leveraging the Sail architecture. Often, you need to quickly adapt and make changes as business needs adjust to your user interfaces. If I need to add a new chart to better understand met versus missed SLAs over time for my service requests, I can drag and drop and pull in our area chart component. In a matter of seconds, I can pull in enterprise data, leveraging Appian's low-code data architecture. Automatically, Appian templatizes a chart configuration for me and intelligently determines which fields are available to display on the chart. Tune into tomorrow's keynote section, where Annalise will dig a little bit deeper into the exciting new product updates we have around low-code data. The best part, as I configure these user interfaces, Appian automatically enables the screens to be portable on all devices. There's no barrier to entry. Every Appian developer is a mobile developer, and every Appian application is a mobile application. With RScale architecture, your user interfaces are automatically portable on all tablets and smartphones without any additional configuration. Speaking of mobile, mobility is now a requirement for every application. Users are everywhere. Usage is everywhere. Applications need to be mobile. Customers can download our app to get started, or we can give you one with your own branding. However, we knew our mobile capabilities had to extend far beyond just accessing applications while connected. Have you ever considered the scenario where your platform users who may be looking to complete work on a plane, in a field, or while potentially riding the train to work? Which is why we released Dynamic Offline Mobile, giving mobile users with no connectivity the same kind of interactive and intelligent interfaces they enjoy when they are online. Let me show you. Let's say I'm a field maintenance technician who has been asked to service a broken escalator, which for those of you at the conference yesterday, I promise I did not break the escalator going up to the 3rd floor just for this keynote. As you can see, as a technician, I was issued a repair task while online before I departed for the job site. All of the information I need for the job was synchronized automatically. Let's go ahead and go offline and start the job. I can begin by navigating through the form, as all sections are dynamically collapsible. I can choose which pre-provisioned parts I have used or need to order, all of which is driven through data synchronized from another data source. And I can add in investigation and repair notes. Both are driven through validations to ensure your offline users are submitting all the necessary information up front. Lastly, I can even leverage native mobile device capabilities while working offline. This is particularly useful for use cases where I may need to take photos of site conditions or scan a barcode to capture equipment information. When we submit the request, Appian will automatically initiate the case once back online. Now your users will never have to worry about completing work, even in the most remote of places. Let me expand on mobile to device management and security, which, as you all know, is critical to any enterprise application. Over the past year, we've seen an uptick in the number of customers deploying apps to employees that involve sensitive information. For example, applications to survey their workforce, or for board members to review sensitive documents. To be successful and secure, these applications need to operate with a high assurance on employee-owned mobile devices. I'm thrilled to announce that later this year, we will be adding support for mobile application management with Microsoft Intune on iOS and Android. Administrators will be able to use fine-grained policies in our mobile application and to connect to securely protected servers without having to fully manage the device. Finally, there's one more key new innovation I want to share with you all. A theme you will be hearing and have already heard throughout the conference is our product strategy to democratize access to the platform and allow low code for all. With our latest release, we are thrilled to announce the official launch of Appian Portals. And with this new product feature, a new user persona has been added to Appian: anonymous users. Your anonymous users can now fill out a form to make an appointment, or perhaps apply to open an account. Appian Portals are the new, secure, scalable front door for your applications, for your workflows. Our customers can now directly connect their external users to the Appian platform, letting you reach more users without sacrificing the capabilities and security you rely on. Portals expands the innovation possibilities for our customers. How does it work? You create an interface just as you do today by drag and drop, using your familiar Appian sail. No more time-intensive custom development. The interfaces are then packaged with all dependencies like integrations and business rules into independently deployed microservices that are orchestrated by our scalable Kubernetes runtime architecture. Why is this important? External usage is typically far more unpredictable than the daily usage you plan for by your employees, which is why Portal scales elastically and automatically without any human intervention to meet any spike in demand. In fact, all portals live within the Appian Cloud security boundary, which means they are completely safe and secure. The best part, you can easily connect to services you've already been connected to in order to read and write data in real time on portal pages. Or perhaps portals can even initiate a process you've already been building in the Appian Designer. Let's take a look at just how easy it is to create and publish an Appian portal. Let's say I want to create a new portal for my facility workers to go ahead and file an equipment repair for damaged equipment. Through a guided form, I can add the portal details, like the name, and bind the user interface I created in our low-code designer to the portal. I can quickly drill in to the user interface designer and make quick changes to my public-facing application without the time-intensive frustration of custom development. I can leverage Google reCAPTCHA to help monitor for potentially malicious or fraudulent activity from bots. And I can even configure specific branding so my external applications fit seamlessly with the look and feel of my organization. Once I publish my portal, behind the scenes, Appian is bundling together all of the related artifacts, putting it into a single microservice package, and deploying it into the Kubernetes orchestration. In a matter of minutes, I now have a fully functional public-facing application. My facility workers can now fill out an equipment repair form without being authenticated. Let me show you. As a member of the public, I am able to access this website without being logged in. Upon accessing the website, I am brought to a step-by-step wizard with dynamic logic and validations, all of which was configured in the familiar Appian user interface designer experience. Once I enter a valid equipment installation and location ID, Appian is able to query my data source and pull in related information. I can continue filling out my repair request and adding contact details, all of which upon submission will be leveraged in our larger workflow. I can add in details around the broken equipment and investigation thus far, all of which are driven through validations, like for example, the character count. And I can even take photos of the equipment damage, as all native mobile capabilities are accessible on my user interface. Lastly, I may want to provide supporting inspection documentation that can easily be stored with our document management capabilities. Once I review the information for my equipment repair, hit submit, the repair case process is initiated. I have now connected my external public users to my internal employees to process requests, all through the same low-code platform. Now that our repair case process is initiated, Appian will now create a case for my authenticated users to be able to go ahead and service the repair. I can drill into the service repair case and assign a technician, add a date and time, and perhaps include any pre-provisioned parts that I want to be able to include on the repair. However, as an external facility worker who launched the repair to service for my equipment, I will want to be provided visibility and any process updates into what's currently happening in my current repair case process. But as an external user with no Appian login credentials, how am I able to receive the appropriate communication? Well, we are thrilled to announce in an upcoming release, Appian portals will support progressive web apps. This means your anonymous users can install your portal's web pages directly on their devices as if they were native applications. Let me show you. As the anonymous user, I can navigate to my Appian portal's web page and download the application to my device in a matter of seconds. When the download is complete, I am able to quickly drill into the web page from my application screen and continue to process service requests, all while still being unauthenticated. Afterwards, I can receive push notifications for new process updates, like when the service request is scheduled, when the technician is on their way, or perhaps maybe when the repair has been completed. With PWA support, all of your users, no matter if they are authenticated or not, will have full transparency into the workflow. Now that you've gained exposure to Appian portals and the PWA experience, here are just a few ways customers have been leveraging portals for their use cases. For example, making a claim, intaking data privacy requests, and much more. And what might this look like in action? Here is an example of an external user requesting a quote for car insurance, all of which is driven through an interactive tool where perhaps I may want to be able to see how I can calculate cost savings or perhaps see the best auto insurance model. As you can see here, I'm able to go, and this is all being governed and driven through Appian user interfaces and rules and integrations. Or perhaps you have a use case for an external user to report an outage. Through a guided form, your external users can intuitively and quickly fill out the necessary details. This is the power of low code for all. With that, I am excited to see what your portal's use cases may be. If you want to try portals for yourself, come join us at the Community Hub to experience the features throughout the conference. So there you have it, our commitment to expanding low code for all, while at the same time maintaining speed, multi-experience, and enterprise-grade standards. We are so excited to see what you'll do with these inspiring tools. Don't worry, there's still a lot more in store, so I'm going to pass it on over to Adam to take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. It is not a stretch to say that Portals is the most highly anticipated feature that we've ever built. Before I let you go, I want to remind you that we aren't done introducing you to the new capabilities of the Appian platform. Tomorrow, I'll be back up here with these folks to show you some of the new automation and low-code features of Appian 22.2, which will be generally available on May 27th. The first day of Appian World is just getting started. For our in-person attendees, we have many great sessions lined up with our product managers and experts to share details about the latest version of Appian. Be sure to catch these in the afternoon track session. Our Appian Community Hub also offers a chance for you to have one-on-one conversations with experts and go hands-on with these new features. And finally, we've brought back the Appian Live Build Challenge. Don't miss this fun competition that pits 6 top Appian developers in a high-stakes head-to-head build-off for a winner-take-all $10,000 prize. You can catch the Live Build Challenge outside the Innovation Showcase at 12:15 p.m. Thank you, and welcome to Appian World.